Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging self reliance. If you'll develop a marketable skill, chase that skill with a solid work ethic, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish in this country, as well as, developing good people skills. I have a really incredible lady here named Samantha Burns, who has an amazing story to tell. So, Samantha, welcome and tell us, about your business name of it, and let's go from there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So my company is called Avi James Co. We're a children's clothing wholesale company. So we sell to boutiques across the US and we help them get inventory and do a lot of drop shipping with that. So I started back in 2022. My story's a little crazy, the beginning of it. I had just had my daughter that January and I started the company in July.
Mhm.
So in January, when I had her, I was only 3 months postpartum, and my dad got critically ill. So he was about 2 hours from us in a hospital on life support for a couple months,
Mhm.
and we were driving 2 hours there, 2 hours back every day, um,
Wow.
with my 3-month-old and my 4-year-old son. So it was a lot. And then when he got better and we were home, postpartum depression set in and it was bad. It was really bad. So that was around, I'd say probably the end of April, June.
Mhm.
And then in July, the end of July, I was looking for a purpose for myself outside of motherhood.
Mhm.
Motherhood is always going to be my biggest and greatest purpose, but I just wanted something for myself that would kind of help me get out of the trenches of the postpartum depression stuff. So I started a retail shop online, and I did primarily all of that through Facebook. A big part of my business was we built it based around a community. So I had a Facebook group and a community of women. There were 2,000 people in my retail group. And it was
Wow.
really cool because not only were they customers, but it was a group of mothers who were shopping for their children. But it was a group of
Mhm.
mothers, and we all kind of just leaned on each other and we became friends. The whole group really was just very involved with one another, and we kind of just became a good sense of support with all the challenges with motherhood and different things like that. So
Sure.
when I first started, I was only getting about 10 sales a month. I had a lot of people that were reps for me that would share in different Facebook groups and stuff like that. And then a beta company, a tech company, they had a drop shipping platform. So drop shipping, if anybody that's watching doesn't know, is pretty much, so I did a lot of drop shipping. How it worked was I would take orders from my customers and then they would order through me and I would order directly from my supplier and they would
Mhm.
ship it to my customer. So it was bypassing me having to fulfill orders. So I did a lot of drop shipping, and then the beta company that I mentioned reached out to me and asked me if I would be willing to try out their drop shipping platform. So of
Mhm.
course I was ready to try it out. And then things kind of just got bigger. It was a great group of people that founded the company. They were super helpful. They were a great resource for me. And then in we're probably at like December now that all this stuff is picking up. And then in February, I actually flew out to Silicon Valley to meet this team of people. And it was awesome. There were so many inspirational people there, very successful people. And it was just awesome. I was thrown into like this whole new world that I wasn't expecting. And then as I worked with them, I realized that there was a need that was missing with drop shipping. So when I was ordering through my supplier, they were all overseas suppliers. So with that, there were longer turnaround times. So my
Mhm.
customers were waiting sometimes 30 days for their products. That's a long time. So
Sure.
I thought, okay, this would be perfect if I could just find someone in the US that drop shipped, and I could not find anybody. I searched high and low. There was nobody that was offering children's clothing in the US. So I thought, okay, if I can't find this, maybe I could do it. Maybe I could be the supplier and drop ship for other companies.
Mhm.
So we decided to give that a try. I started a new Facebook group and it blew up. Like there was such a need for it that people were jumped on the opportunity. So now we have a Facebook group of about eight, I think now there's 8,200 women in there. And we work with 2,000, over 2,000 now boutiques across the country.
Wow,
We
wow.
do a lot of drop shipping for them. So we're shipping directly to their customers and they're getting their orders much quicker. And then we also supply brick and mortars as well. So we kind of work with a little bit of everybody, small businesses. We have a big part of us that's different than other suppliers is we have no minimum order quantity. So they order what they need. So even very, very small shops that are starting out how I started out, they don't need to meet an order minimum. So they just order what they need.
Well, and certainly going in that direction, um, it lets them kind of test out, what they're doing out of their shop and everything like that without getting overrun with a lot of different, too much product, basically. Would that be accurate?
Right, right. Yeah. And the biggest part that I am super passionate about also is there's no startup cost really, essentially. Like
Mhm.
if you have a website, if you want to go the website route, of course you'll have to pay for a website. But other than that, there's really no startup costs with drop shipping or even if you don't want to have inventory on hand and you do it as a pre-order, you don't need that capital at all. So a stay-at-home mom can start their shop just like I did and
Mhm.
still be very successful.
Well, Samantha, how do they go about, contacting you? Because I'm assuming there's going to be a fair number of people that'll see this conversation you and I are having. And I'd like to make sure we put in that sooner rather than later, how to contact you. How do they do that?
Yeah, you can just email Avi James Wholesale and Avi spelled AVI and then James Wholesale at gmail.com.
Okay, and that's AVI James James,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of it again. I'm sorry.
Wholesale
Okay,
at Gmail.
at gmail.com.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and I'll have that right near the top of the heading when we get done with this too. So it'll
Okay.
help people, remember that. Okay, so now you're basically about 2 years into the drop shipping at this point, if I'm following properly here. And
Yep.
so, what has this meant for you and your business?
Um, it's it's been amazing. It's changed my whole family's life. It's been huge for us.
Hmm. Okay, and you have other people that are helping you as far as the what you're doing there.
Yeah, so my main person that helps me out is my sister-in-law. We're very close, and it's been super cool to be able to like employ her and us work so closely together.
Hmm.
She's pretty much the heart of our fulfillment. Like she packs and picks almost all of our orders, and she's very passionate as well about the business. We have a web designer, we have a graphic designer. I have a virtual assistant who does my email marketing. And then I have another graphic designer that does our graphics in our group that our members can use as marketing material.
Okay, okay. And another note here, you were kind enough to actually pick up this new book that I just got out in the beginning of April, which is young, mentally tough entrepreneurs who are having an impact on the world. We were talking a little bit off camera. How has that helped you out too, Samantha?
Um, it's helped a lot. The stories are super relatable, but not only that, I didn't realize how much content was in the book that can help really any business owner, not even specific to any field you're in. But there's a ton of tips about marketing. There's a lot of stuff about the financial side as far as like startup costs and different things like that. There's just a ton of information. And I actually plan on sharing it with my clients that I used to because I really do think it could help any entrepreneur, really.
Sure, sure. Well, I certainly appreciate it. And the thing is that we all went through a lot during COVID, and one of the things I see with a lot of people, especially a lot of younger people, is the how they were forced to not be allowed to do too much of anything, and the idea that you've taken such huge actions, on your business to get it off the ground is to very much be applauded. I mean, it's just amazing to see how far you've come so quickly.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, So anyway, the future now, what are your what kind of capacity do you have as far as being a drop shipper?
Really, the sky's the limit, I say, because I don't really have a end goal. I just want to keep growing and growing and growing, and I want to help more women be able to grow our community to even more people. And yeah, just get into more stores.
Sure. Well, and the other thing too is that it sounds like, with the people that you have helping you, the website technology, that your business, being a drop shipper, is very scalable. Would that be accurate as well?
Yeah, definitely.
hmm
Definitely.
So with this growth that you want to have, obviously you need tools in place, people in place to help you do that. So um, anything else you can add about what we're discussing here, Samantha? This has been fantastic.
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, okay, very good. What we're going to do is can you stick with me for a minute or two after we get finished here? And like I said, I will be getting this up, and I'll be getting the link to you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. I appreciate you.
Yep.